Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Voice AU vlog with Fan de Stools. So this was the last night of the showdowns tonight. We started with Team Joel. Kathy Hinch ended up going home. She had a lovely voice and she's also very good looking, so she was not very original. So she went home. Michael Stengel was the one from Team Joel who got the most votes, so he went straight through. And it's funny, I often forget that, Michael is he's the sort of person, he looks like every Australian, him and his wife, he's a little bit rough looking and his wife is a little bit fishwifey, and I forget that there are people like that all over Australia, because I forget that coming from Voivoi, but really if you go into any mall in Australia, that's who you see, so that's why he got the most votes. Then we had a little sing-off between Danny Ross and Lyric McFarlane. Lyric is the lovely big black beauty and Danny Ross is the magician guy he looks like a magician. It was a shock to me that Lyric didn't get through. She's such an incredible performer. It was very sad, but Danny is very mysterious and a little bit scary, and I think that's why they said he was very interesting, and so that's why he went through. And I have to say there was a moment which was quite awkward when he got chosen, that he gave Lyric a hug and he really held on to her and he whispered something in her ear, I don't know, a poem or an essay or some kind of curse, I'm not sure, but it went for a long time and it was very awkward. People had stopped clapping already. So that was Team Joel. Delta, the lovely Celia Payfish, she went straight through. She got the most votes. She deserved it too. I mean, she has such an angelic voice, and not only that, she's had to overcome being a redhead, which really in some cases people think that is a disability. So good on you, Celia. The lovely Nathan Allgood, he went home, and that was sad because he's such a great singer. Better in my opinion than Ben, but Ben wears a beanie, so so Ben sang off, he had to sing that religious song that he sang in the first blinds, the Bedouin song, and I tell you, he had a bit of a religious experience as he was singing, because his eyes at one stage rolled to the back of his head. He was like, Bedouin song, like that, and his whole eye rolled back. I mean, I can't do it because I've got my sword eye, but both his eyes rolled back, and I thought maybe God has taken over singing, but if that was the case, then God is very flat on the final note. And the spunky Tim Morrison, he sang, he does his lovely screaming that I love from The Voice, and he was such a superstar. Honestly, he didn't throw his mic down this time because I think he really liked what it is that he did, his performance, and so did the judges, because Tim got through. So, and then there was a little interval, and a band called The Wanted played their new single. Now, quite frankly, this band, they come from England, their voices and their performances, they was not even as good as any one of the contestants who auditioned for The Voice. I tell you, it was so boring and so flat. I mean, certainly not, they are not up to scratch to Team Jan, that's for sure. And the song, I mean, was ridiculous, it was stupid. It was very deep and meaningful lyrics like, she can't sing, she can't dance, but who cares, she walks like Rihanna, whoever she is. I mean, what are we going on about? Why do we need to see a band from England? We have plenty of bands here in Australia, like Uncanny X-Men and bands. We've got them in Australia, and so why not use our own? Anyway, the judges thought it was shit too, because they were hardly clapping at the end. It was so boring. Okay, so then we go to Team Seal. Now, Mitchell Aniston went straight through. So happy, I love him and his dad. And then there was the sing-off between Jack Stone and Sean Kirk. Nicholas Roy, he went home unfortunately, and he got another lovely inspiring speech by Seal, who said, sorry it didn't work out, but it actually is working out, and I think you'll look back and see it worked out exactly as you wanted it to. Well, surprisingly, Nicholas did not reply with, yes, it did. I really wanted to lose in front of 2.5 million people on national television. Anyway, Jack Stone, she had an amazing voice, such an emotional singer. I love her. Really great performance. I could only see her with one eye, but I thought it was great. And Sean Kirk, it was the best he's ever sung too, and he's got the crutches, which is a great backstory. We love in Australia the underdogs, but thank God Jack got to go forward. Even though the other judges all liked Sean, I thought it was the right choice that Seal made. So good on you, Seal. I'll give you my seal of approval for that one, because she is really a superstar. I mean, she'd probably end up working at Bed Bath and Table like all the other superstars that I know, but nonetheless, you know, it was really great, yes, because of course we don't have any judges or singers in Australia that could be on The Voice or singing on The Voice AU, but still, okay. Then the final one was the last team, which was, I think, Ricky. And so we had Luke Kennedy. He got through straight away with his song, because he went to #1 on the iTunes charts. Good on you, Luke. That is fantastic. And I thought to myself, who is voting for that, you know? And I realized it's the same people that vote for, that love Andre Rieu. I was always wondering who those people were. It's the mums and the dads, and they love Luke as well, which is really lovely. And it's the same people also who like music theatre, Delta. So then we had Emma, my favourite Emma, and Catherine. They had to do a sing-off. James Walker, he didn't. He just had to walk out, which was sad, because he does have a great voice, but he's young, so he's got a lot more rejection to look forward to. So Darren introduced Emma as the first lady of jazz in Australia, and you know what? She really is, and she has been my favourite the whole time. Delta, again, very unsupportive. While Emma was singing, she was like this. She was just looking away, you know, then the other side not even looking at her. Terrible. And Katarina, look, she was fantastic. Both such professionals, and such good songs on the blinds, and they were just the same because they were so professional here. And Ricky looked like he was going to cry when he had to choose between them, and I thought it is a terrible thing to have to choose, because they're both so deserving and wonderful. And Delta amazingly said something really, really great. She said, Emma, you have introduced jazz to all of Australia in the most inspiring way, or something like that. And it is so true, Emma. And Ricky said Emma's self-funded album had gone to #1 on the iTunes charts. I mean, how is that? It's amazing, isn't it? And that is why he chose Katarina to go through to the showdowns. Very sad for me. I think that is a fail on his part, because Emma, I thought you were the best one there out of everyone. So next week we go to the lives on Monday. On Monday, nothing on Sunday, only one show next week on Monday. I've looked it up on the internet, so that's very exciting, because Eurovision Song Contest is on Sunday, so that's great to get to watch that. And before we go, I very quickly want to just wrap up my personal affairs. I know that you have all been interested and worried about me. I want to say that Peter and I have decided to get back together. I have ended it with Adams. Peter froze all the bank accounts yesterday, and I had to ask Adams for money. And I wrote to him. I said, Adams, Peter has frozen the accounts. I have a lot of money from my days as a real estate agent, but I can't access it. I want to buy you a ticket to Voi Voi and some groceries. I am a heavy eater, especially when emotional and during my time of the month. Can you send me some money? I will pay you back when I get through divorce. When we're together, everything I will have will be yours too, and I'll have a lovely home unit in Voi Voi, and that's just for starters. But unfortunately, I didn't hear anything back from him anymore after that, which was very sad. So I have given it closure, and I wrote him a little thing just to say goodbye, and it said, Dear Adams, I am so sorry to say I have to end our relationship. I cannot be your girlfriend on the Facebook anymore. I have done some very hard thinking and talking with Peter and Trevor, and we have decided that I don't want to divide all our money and possessions in half, and that it is also very difficult for our families if we break up, because we are related. So I'm staying with Peter, even though he does cheesecraft and has his theatre ladies, and I don't like kissing him. He is still my Peter, and I love him. Thank you for a very exciting week, Adams. I will always remember it till next year. And because you like sayings so much, I will leave you with one that my mother always said to me in times of disappointment. Wish in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. Sometimes in life we get poo instead of wishes. Fan de Stools.